sustainability is not just about mandating something or that the government imposes certain restrictions, but sustainability is also something that you imbibe within yourself to keep not just your company growing, but also to take care of the environment. And this is one of the hot topics of discussion today. The governance, the environmental and social governance. Is governance compulsory, or is it mandatory, or is it self-sustaining? Is it that you are doing it out of fear of a stick, or are you doing it because you have a carrot in front of you? So the first point that we come to is syncing ESG with the financial language of the board. And if the board realizes that ESG is remunerative, it realizes that it pays off, it can make a lot of money. We've all heard of the saying that a penny saved is a penny earned. At the same time, a unit saved is a unit earned. And when I say a unit, I mean a unit of electricity, a unit of energy.
So as a business, it has now forced us to rethink about our supply chain. Are we really efficient, water efficient? So if supply chain needs to be reconfigured, we are in the process of doing that. And this is going to be our contribution into the mission life, defining the concept of water credits, which can become big in this country because we have 16% of the global population and just about 4% of the groundwater. As someone said in the morning, the actions or the repercussions of our actions live beyond our life, maybe through our children, or for the people who believe in rebirths, we may come back to enjoy the fruits of what we do, or the bad things that we do will come back to us. Thank you. Let's keep the environment clean.
We all are extremely concerned about greenhouse gas emissions, scope 1, scope 2, scope 3. On each of these, we can have a one-day conference and still feel that there is a lot to be stated. What is more important is we spoke about how today's youth, or even how the outside world looks at the corporate when we talk about ESG, when we talk about our responsiveness to the society. I must say, all of us are doing a great piece of work.
Climate change being a very complex issue, how do we get started? So first and foremost would be to ask very, very simple questions. For example, instead of saying, okay, how do I reduce the carbon footprint of my entire company? Instead, we can start with, okay, how do I reduce the carbon footprint of just one production line of mine? Carbon footprint of all the material that come in, or my outward logistics carbon footprint. So take one specific part of the organization. So attach the ESG requirement or the climate change requirement to that particular vertical and then address it. Or the other question could be, instead of talking about how is the climate change going to affect my complete organization, instead we can just talk about how is the climate change going to affect this particular business unit of my organization.
My question goes to Mr. Vivek Shrivastava. I am Commander Sudhir, I am a consultant. Now, India is driving very important mission, that is AI mission, and then quantum mission. For both these missions to drive forward, we have got the money allocated for it, but the problem lies that we are going to have GPUs, the petaflop capabilities to multiply the computing facilities. And on the other side, there are near about 10 to 15,000 data centers are coming, global capacity centers in India.
Commander, you need to come to your question immediately.
Just coming to the question. They are water guzzlers as well as energy consumption is very high. So we have got a solution that we are going to drive them with the thermal energy or nuclear energy. But as you are the biggest manufacturer, I suppose, in Suzlon, how you are going to give this green energy to these all data centers and GCCs? Do you have a solution for it?
Yeah. Globally, one of the things that is on the radar for everyone who talks about AI, etc., is the huge amount of energy guzzling that's happening. Okay, and as data lakes increase, as the processing, computing requirements increase with better algorithms and super algorithms, that is going to be a reality. Now, how you can't expect people to suddenly stop storing photographs or using AI. That's not going to happen. It's going to happen the other way around. So there are 2-3 things that need to be done. And I'm talking about what can be done now and what is already being done ahead of time. So we all know that in terms of speed to market, deployment, etc., nuclear energy is one of the, is something that is taking a revival, but not at a grand level because it has its own problems. So there is SMR, small modular reactor. So you can see some of the companies in US have commissioned that, which is providing 300 to 400 megawatt kind of locally on the grid. Then there is the normal solution that we always recommend, which is about looking at it in an integrated manner and designing the data center for 2 things. How much power can be fed from the grid which is generated through renewable, sustainable, and economical means, and simultaneously also the water footprint of them, because the amount of heat that gets generated. So these 2 things are an engineered solution, and I think when the businesses start looking at the carbon credits, etc., this is a natural outcome that will happen.
Thank you.
A round of applause for all the panelists, please. So we'll quickly get together for a quick group photograph.